What if I told you that right now, over 27 million people worldwide are trapped in modern slavery, generating an estimated $150 billion in illegal profits annually? This staggering reality makes sex trafficking one of the most lucrative criminal enterprises on earth, operating in every country, including right here in America. The scale is mind-boggling. Every 30 seconds, another person falls victim to human trafficking. That's 2,280 new victims every single day. While we often think of trafficking as something that happens elsewhere, the United States is actually one of the top destinations for human trafficking, with an estimated 400,000 people currently enslaved within our borders. Now, here's where things get complicated. The Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, has been scrutinizing federal spending with unprecedented intensity. Created through executive order as an advisory body, DOGE's mission is straightforward: cut waste, improve efficiency, and save taxpayer money. They've claimed to save billions through contract terminations, workforce reductions, and program eliminations. But when DOGE follows the money trail, they're discovering something troubling. Anti-trafficking efforts are expensive, complex, and often difficult to measure. A single trafficking investigation can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and take years to complete. Victim services programs require ongoing funding for housing, medical care, legal assistance, and psychological support. Prevention programs in schools and communities need sustained investment to be effective. Here's the catch: these programs often can't show immediate, quantifiable results. How do you measure a trafficking victim who wasn't created because a prevention program worked? How do you calculate the value of a survivor who received services and went on to rebuild their life? These outcomes are real, but they don't fit neatly into spreadsheet cells. DOGE's efficiency lens reveals some uncomfortable truths about how we've been fighting trafficking. The federal government currently funds over 200 different anti-trafficking programs across multiple agencies. There's overlap, duplication, and sometimes competing priorities. Some programs have administrative costs that seem disproportionate to their direct impact. Others lack proper oversight or measurable outcomes. But critics argue that DOGE's approach misses the bigger picture. When you cut funding to social services, you often create the conditions that make people vulnerable to trafficking in the first place. Homeless youth programs, mental health services, substance abuse treatment, and job training initiatives all serve as protective factors against trafficking. Consider this: a teenager aging out of foster care without support is 600% more likely to become a trafficking victim. When DOGE cuts funding to transitional housing programs or job placement services, they might be inadvertently feeding the trafficking pipeline. The money trail DOGE is following reveals something else important. Trafficking thrives in the shadows of legitimate business. Criminals use shell companies, cryptocurrency, and complex financial networks to launder their profits. Following this money requires sophisticated financial crimes units, international cooperation, and cutting-edge technology. All of these cost money up front, but can yield massive returns in disrupted criminal networks. Some of DOGE's cuts have already impacted anti-trafficking efforts. Regional task forces have lost funding, reducing their ability to coordinate investigations across jurisdictions. Victim services organizations are operating with skeleton crews, turning away survivors who need help. Training programs for law enforcement have been scaled back, leaving officers less equipped to identify trafficking situations. Yet DOGE supporters argue that efficiency improvements can actually strengthen anti-trafficking efforts. By eliminating redundant programs and consolidating resources, they claim we can direct more money to frontline services and investigations. They point to private sector innovations in data analysis and victim identification that could revolutionize how we fight trafficking. The technology angle is particularly interesting. Artificial intelligence can now scan online advertisements to identify potential trafficking situations. Blockchain technology could make it harder for criminals to launder money. Social media monitoring can help locate missing persons faster than ever before. But implementing these technologies requires significant upfront investment. As DOGE continues following the money, we're forced to confront difficult questions about how we value human dignity against fiscal responsibility. What's emerging is a fundamental tension between immediate cost savings and long-term public safety. DOGE's mandate to cut spending conflicts with the reality that fighting trafficking requires sustained, expensive, coordinated efforts. The criminals are investing heavily in their operations, using sophisticated technology and global networks. Can we really fight them on the cheap? The stakes couldn't be higher. Every program cut, every service eliminated, every investigation defunded potentially means